Today, we're going to answer the product execution interview question: how would you take teleportation technology to market? Welcome to LiftoffPM. I'm Kevin Wei, a senior product manager, and my hope is that this channel will be your go-to resource for PM interview prep. We're going to answer the question, but we have many more lessons to share with you in our paid course, including our execution lessons. Just hit the link at the top of the description to see them all, including how to answer product sense, execution, strategy, and behavioral questions. We know there are a lot of interview prep materials out there, many of which are outdated or contain generic advice. Our course has the latest topics and most strategic ways to answer today's PM interview questions so that you can stay focused on what works. Hit join and unlock all the videos on our course to ace your interview today. And in doing so, support the extensive writing, filming, and editing here at LiftoffPM. Our course has helped over 90 people land PM roles at FAANG and top startups, and we're really proud of that. And now, back to the lesson. This question is very similar to our last video on how would you build a product around X cutting-edge technology. So watch that first if you haven't already, especially since this kind of question is becoming increasingly popular with the rise of AI and other trends in tech. Here's the approach I'll take. 1. Start by level setting what the technology does. 2. Brainstorm some user problems that would be a good fit for the technology. 3. Pick the most important ones. 4. Brainstorm solutions for the most important user problems. And 5. Summarize your recommendation, including your go-to-market strategy. Let's start by assuming that teleportation technology doesn't include time machine qualities. In other words, you're only teleported with respect to location, but not time. Let's also assume that it's not size prohibitive, meaning items both big and small are eligible for this technology. And let's assume that eventually we're going to have competitors who can also use teleportation technology. And in your interview, you can clarify any constraints with your interviewer. Next, let's brainstorm user problems that this tech would be a good fit for. Teleportation is good for problems that are constrained by time and effort, such as slow shipping and or heavy logistics for consumers and businesses, access to healthcare for folks who may not have great access today, commutes and public transportation in general, and personal and business travel. Knowing the potential problems teleportation solves, let's pick the most important ones by impact. Imagine you're a founder building a company around this. Which area would you pick as the most strategic to work in? I consider market size of the opportunity, level of differentiation, and impact on quality of life. Don't overthink your criteria and don't use an overly complicated scoring system. Something as simple as 1 to a 5 rating and weighing each dimension equally is simple enough. And here, based on our criteria, we see that personal and business travel is the best opportunity. Next, let's imagine how we'd build a teleportation product around this problem. The reason I said that the level of differentiation is high for personal and business travel is because travel is about the overall experience, not just the literal traveling of A to B. The literal travel portion is the least differentiating part of the whole experience, which is why shipping and healthcare scored low. Their utilities and essentials. The end-to-end travel experience, on the other hand, could include 1. A platform to book and manage trips. 2. Teleportation pods and hubs. 3. Assuming that travel isn't truly instant, amenities and niceties when you're in the pod, comfortable seating. And 4. A concierge service to help you plan the activities after you arrive. And this will all help us differentiate from competitors. And finally, summarize your recommendation on how you'd bring this product to market. Our target user will be upmarket, since this tech will be expensive, and we'd be able to charge more since there exists few alternatives. This can also be for either personal or business use. I don't think it's super important for us to choose one of those right now. And in terms of location, let's start with a route that's both popular as well as long so that users can feel a larger benefit. One that comes to mind is New York to London, one that's popular for both personal and business travelers. And we'll also need initial partners. I would partner with the city to identify which locations to put the teleportation hubs in. Since the airports at NYC and London are a bit outside the city, the benefit of our devices is that you can arrive directly in the city rather than having to make a long trek downtown. We can choose King's Cross Station and Grand Central Station since these are already easily accessible by trains within the downtown areas. And in terms of monetization, we can choose to make this a subscription for frequent travelers. But since it's a new technology and folks might be unsure about it initially, we can definitely start with a per trip pricing first. And in terms of marketing, we can target upmarket users with ads as they search for airfare or other slower forms of travel. We can also take up billboards near major transport hubs. And if we see success, our expansion strategy will be twofold. 1, expand to other popular routes, or 2, experiment with routes that are cumbersome, like ecotourism to the Galapagos, one where you need to take multiple flights and boats to get to today. So to summarize, if there were a breakthrough in teleportation technology, I would start in the travel space due to its market size, level of differentiation we could offer, as well as the impact on quality of life. Imagine being able to see distant loved ones much easier, or making that grueling work trip much more manageable. The end-to-end offering would include a booking platform, pods and hubs, and a concierge service to help folks manage their itineraries after they arrive. We'd start with the popular routes between New York and London, and then potentially expand to other popular routes, and then experiment with harder to get to destinations like ecotourism sites. And there you have it. Good luck with your upcoming interview, and click the join button below to either try one paid course as a sample or access the full course through YouTube memberships. We know there's so many courses out there, many of which are outdated or contain generic advice. The LiftoffPM course has the latest topics and most important strategies so that you can stay focused on what works. And you can get all this in our course for roughly the same cost as just one private coaching session. We'll see you in our next video, and good luck again in your upcoming interviews.